Hey guys, welcome to Thursday. We are not having a phonics lesson today because your phonics assignment is to read the story, How to Make Play-Doh, on pages 237 and 238. And maybe if your family has the ingredients at home, you can make it. So we're going to go on and start with math. And you should be on pages 311 and 312 in your book. And it's chapter 7, lesson 7. So before I start the lesson, on the paper we're going to review our geometric forms. Remember, our plane shapes are flat, our geometric forms are solids, and remember this one is a sphere, a rectangular prism, a cube, a cone, a cylinder, and a pyramid. And remember, we talked about, we can see plane shapes on the sides of our forms. So the plane shape that I'm looking at here on my pyramid is a triangle. On the base, I have a square. Now, a lot of people think that if you have a sphere, you get a round face, but you don't, because you can't trace it. You can't lay it flat on something and trace it. My sphere has 0 faces. So let's look at our paper. And at the top, it says, let's learn. The flat surfaces of a solid figure are shaped like plane figures. And we just talked about that. And an example would be if I put my box up here for my cube and I traced around it, I would have a square. It has a square face. My plane shape is a square. Okay? And in the picture, it's showing you how a rectangle is one of the faces on a rectangular prism. We talked about the pyramid. We have the circle on the bottom of our cylinder. Okay. So let's look at number 1. It says circle any solid figure with a flat surface that matches the plane figure at the beginning of each row. So at number 1, we have a rectangle. Our rectangle is our plane shape. And which of our solids has a rectangle face? The square, the cylinder, or the rectangular prism? And they circled that. So go ahead and trace that. Now number 2 is going to be a little bit tricky, so make sure you stay with me. And number 2, our plane shape is a square. We know we can get a plane shape from a cube. We did that on the board. Do you see any squares on my cylinder? I don't. I only see circles. Okay. How about my pyramid? The pyramid in the picture is only showing triangles, but remember, if I flip it over, it has a square bottom. So for number 2, there are 2 correct answers. You should circle the cube and the pyramid. You're going to do numbers 3 and 4 on your own. There will be either 1 or 2 correct answers. So look for that. And let's look at number 5. Which one solid figure can you trace to make both a square and a triangle? And remember, that would be our pyramid. Can make a square and a triangle. Okay, so put a check mark on number 5 and turn your paper over. All right, on the back, it's asking you to use a blue and a red crayon. You can use a crayon or a colored pencil. If you'd like to go get them, you can pause the video and go get them. And the other option is you can use a pencil and write the letter R for red and write the letter B for blue. So let's look at number 6. Number, Bella, quiet. Thank you. Number 6. Color blue any figure you could use to trace a circle. It has a cube. Can't trace a circle on a cube. It has a sphere. We cannot trace a circle on a sphere. It has a cylinder, or you can trace a circle on a cylinder. So color the cylinder blue, and actually they did that for you. You can make a circle with the cone. So either color the cone blue or write a B on it. And your rectangular prism, I don't see any circles. All right, on number 7, it says color red any figure you could use to trace a square. Okay. We already talked about the cube. Color it red or write an R on it. And the rectangular prism's a little bit tricky. On our rectangular prism, we have a square face, but the one in the picture has a rectangular face. So do not write an R or color it red. The only thing that should be red is the cube. Let's look at the instructions in the middle of the page where it says problem solving. Solve. Use a problem-solving strategy. Write square, triangle, or circle. If you look, the words square, triangle, and circle are in bold print. Make sure you look at those when you're spelling your words to make sure you spell them correctly. And we're going to do number 8 together. Which shape is on each face of a cube? I hope you chose square. You can circle square. You do not have to, but you may circle it if it helps you and print it on the line. I'll give you a minute to write square. And if you look, there are 3 shapes listed, square, triangle, or circle, and there are 4 lines. That means you're going to use one of them twice. And we're going to do number 12 together. Leah traced the flat surface of one solid figure to make the pattern above. Which solid figure did she use? If she used one solid figure, she traced the triangle side of the pyramid and the square. Okay, so you can put an X on critical thinking or a check mark. We did number 12 together, and you do not have to do number 13. When you come back, we're going to work on our other papers. We're going to do our freckle juice paper. Then we're going to look at our Hawaii paper and our closed crossword papers. All right, so we'll see you back in a few minutes. Remember to finish the front and do the back. All right, welcome back, guys. We're going to start with our freckle juice paper. It looks like this. And I'll hold it up in case you did not choose to print it out. Remember, we said that was an option. It says, "What's so funny?" Many readers enjoy Judy Blume's books because they make children laugh. Freckle Juice, like many of Blume's stories, is filled with hilarious events. And hilarious, if you don't know what that means, is something that's really, 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 really funny. So let's look at our instructions now under the picture of the girl reading this story. It says, choose 3 events you thought were funny and illustrate them in the snapshots below. Then describe each of your pictures. So you're going to choose 3 things that you thought were really funny and draw your pictures. And then next to each one, write 1 or 2 sentences telling me about the picture. If you didn't print the paper out, you can do this on regular paper, and I'm looking forward to finding out what you thought was funny. Okay, when we come back, we're going to look at our Hawaii papers. All right, we're here looking at our Hawaii papers. We're looking at pages 23, 24, and 25 today. And at the top of page 23, mine is stapled, but it says, read the passage and then circle true or false for the following statement. Only girls dance the hula. Is that true or false? And if you are not using the booklet, if you're writing it on another piece of paper, you can write the statement or have a grown-up write it for you, and then you can choose to write true or false. Okay. The hula. heartbeat of Hawaii. Okay, and we're going to read that together. Before they had written language, the Hawaiians told their story with song and dance. Boys and girls were chosen very young to learn the dance called hula. They lived in a special house called a heiau and learned many different hulas. Each dance told a story by moving their hands, feet, and bodies. Some were done sitting down. The Hawaiians offered special hulas to their gods and chiefs. Dances were also a part of every celebration. Chanters would often tell a musical story to go with a hula. Sounds were made by clapping hands, slapping their chests, and stomping their feet. So go back up to the top. Only girls dance the hula, true or false? Okay. Turn the page. And we're going to talk about a little bit more about music in Hawaii. This page is called Musical Instruments. First, we're going to read about the ukulele. The ukulele came to Hawaii with Portuguese workers in the 1880s. The Hawaiians happily made it a part of their musical history. Okay, and then we're going to start reading right here where it says Many Hawaiian. Many Hawaiian poems and stories. I'm going to start again since that was moving. Many Hawaiian poems and stories were spoken or chanted with music. These stories had to be repeated over and over again until they were memorized. They told the Hawaiian history, and each family had a story. The musical instruments were simple and made simple sounds. Drums were made of wood and covered with shark skin. Some dancers held small stones between their fingers and clicked them. Coconut shells were tied to arms and legs and tapped with sticks. Bamboo was made into flutes and pipes. Shells made beautiful music. Okay, so that's how they made music. Those were musical instruments of Hawaii. We have one more page today. And it's a little bit hard to see if I hold it up. But I'm just going to go ahead. You can follow along with me or sit back and listen to this page. Traditionally, Hawaiians had many occasions for feasts and celebrations. Whether centered around a seasonal event or a victorious battle, there were often days of preparation for such events. Kalo, or taro, has always been the staple of the Hawaiian diet. The root of the plant is mashed to make poi, and the spinach-like leaves are used in the wrapping and steaming of fish and vegetables. The leaves are referred to as luau and are used in popular dishes such as squid luau and chicken luau. Today, luau has come to mean an informal gathering of people for food and entertainment. The Hawaiian values of laulum, many hands working together, and ho'okipa, which is hospitality, are important aspects describing the work of the preparation for a luau and the importance of welcoming guests in the Hawaiian culture. Okay. So you can pause this here now if you would like to circle true or false, or you can keep the video going because we're getting ready to look at our closed crossword puzzles. And today, this is your crossword puzzle. And if you look at the top corner, it has the letters A, G. So all of the words in our word list are going to have the ag sound in them. And our closed puzzle is a fancy word for what we do on our phonics papers every day. Maggie goes shopping. And we have a word list here at the bottom, and we're going to use those words to fill in the blanks. And I have found it's easier if you start with the crossword puzzle, because that way you get more familiar with the words that are going to be in your closed crossword puzzle, or closed puzzle, because a lot of them have the same words. So let's just go over the words in the word box on our crossword puzzle. Okay, so here's our word list. Ready? Rag, tag, flag, bag, nag, wags, brags, wagon, dagger, magnet, bagpipe, and bragging. Okay, so let's look at a few of the words that might not be familiar. We're going to look down here at nag, right here. If someone nags you, they're telling you over and over and over and over to do something. That's nagging. All right? But don't tell your parents they're nagging if they're telling you to do something and you haven't done it the first time. They're just being good parents. All right, let's look down here at brags. We have brags, and then at the bottom, bragging. If someone brags, they're actually saying it. If they're bragging, it's what they're doing. It's a little bit confusing, so remember, count the boxes in your crossword puzzle, and that'll help you know. If there are only 5 spaces, it would be brags, because there are 5 letters in the word brags. Okay? In the word bragging, there are 8 letters. All right, if you're bragging or brags, that's another word for that is boasting. And that just means you're kind of showing off, saying, I'm better than you are. I'm so good at this. I'm better. I'm better. That's bragging or boasting. Okay. So remember, where it says across, you're going to write the words going across in the puzzle. If it says down, you're going to write the words going down. It's easier to do this if you can print it out. I know some of you have printers and choose only to print certain things because printer ink is expensive. So if you can print it out, I would recommend it. But if you can't, you can just write on your paper across number 3 and write the word. But if you're doing that, you can still count the boxes to help you. Okay, so number 3 across says boasting. We said another word for boasting is bragging. So you're going to circle the bottom word, bragging. Go up here to number 3. So there's a small number 3. And write bragging. Remember, we write 1 letter in each box. Okay. And we'll do 1 down together. Be careful, the numbers don't go in order. Remember, the first one across is number 3. Down, number 1 is an old torn cloth. Number 1 down has 3 letters. So find one of those words with 3 letters that would be an old torn cloth. Okay. The first word in our word list is rag. You're going to circle rag and print it in 1 down. Okay. Go ahead and do that, and then we will look at our crossword closed puzzle. Oh, one other word we didn't go over was dagger. A dagger is a type of a knife. So you might think of a pirate who might be carrying a dagger. Now we're looking at Maggie Goes Shopping. And I hope you're all smiling, thinking of your friend Maggie in Ms. Lichtenstein's class. All right. And the words in our word list are bag, tag, flag, dagger, wagged, wagon, magnet, bagpipe. So let's look at the first sentence. It said, Maggie went shopping for a gift for her brother. She looked in her hand blank to see how much money she had to spend. What word would go in that blank? I'm hoping you chose bag. A handbag is another name for a purse or a pocketbook. So circle the word bag and print it up here on the line. If you are just writing the words and not printing it out, number the blanks. We would number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just write the numbers on your paper and fill in the blank. And there should be 8 of them. Or write the word next to the number. So if you're writing it on your paper, write the word number 1 and the word bag. Okay. That's it for today. Enjoy your day, and tomorrow's Friday. Bye, guys.